Well, welcome into the Splatoon 3 North American League show. I'm your host, Jordan Kent. Joining me, looking extra shiny today, we've got Zach. And Zach, I'm not even going to give you time for a thought because the highlights were that incredible from this past week. Let's jump right into the action as we check out some more of the elite competition. It's Gourmet Race versus Bet in winners quarterfinals. And how about Zero with a remarkable quad?
Yeah, if you let a player like Zero get close with a weapon like the 52 gal, it is such a fast time to splat that you barely have any time to react. It's no wonder they were able to pick up a quad here.
And then turning things around, Miner goes spelunking for a couple of splats as well too.
One shot, two splats is all they need. Get Zero and Dante. This is not the last time we'll see them on this weapon.
And Miner continues to pour it on. A beautiful triple as well too, trying to help Gourmet Race to the victory, but keep in mind, Bet here in Game 4 would just have too much to handle, especially with Zero on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, Miner with a great weapon for this stage. It's got good verticality, able to get another pick there with the triple ink strike, but the Rainmaker carrier has to essentially make it through these grates, and they get stopped just short by Bet.
Bet gets the 3-2 victory over Gourmet Race. Let's dive into winners semifinals. Moonlight versus Milky Way, and this came down to the last frame here, Zach.
Yeah, Moonlight wishing they could perform some animation canceling here. They have the path forward. Nolan picks up the extra power clam. They start spinning, but it does not break the basket in time.
And then how about Basil getting a terrific double here to help prevent Milky Way from going any further?
Yeah, and this is Basil and Omega just running the show for a bit. It's important to have the solid front line and the solid back line. There's a nice look from Basil, and you can see them looking at ice, misses the first shot, isn't dissuaded, gets that pick onto ice to stop that push, and then it's time for a push of their own. Moonlight getting the first checkpoint there, and Omega is the orchestrator of this one. Puts down the big bubbler, is big in breaking that Rainmaker shield, and that allows them to push just ahead to get the lead.
Well, let's give it even more. Omega gets the double, and then all of a sudden just dictates where everybody's going here.
And once again, backed up by Basil, walking around on these grates using the excellent range of the E-Leader, gets the pick there onto Q.
Moonlight gets the 3-2 victory over Milky Way. Oh, time for a Splat-tastic winners finals. FT win versus Moonlight, and it is a minty fresh performance here from Omega as they go off, Zach.
We've seen lots of Omega on the offensive side. Let's take a look at their defense and their patience here. The suction bomb's doing a lot of work. Biscuit's going to go down. They use the second one to take a lot of the armor away from the crab tank. That's going to allow that to go down, and Hexen falls shortly after.
And with FT win here in Game 5, you always have to account for how well they can coordinate and make a well-timed push when it matters the most.
Yeah, Shaq completely unperturbed by holding onto the power clam. Doesn't matter if you're marked, if you're sitting pretty in the crab tank, and then Hexen will find two on top of these boxes and say, I don't need to build a power clam. I'm going to deposit what I have. All 7 clams go in to extend that lead.
FT win eclipses Moonlight 3-2. Let's scope out loser semifinals. Milky Way versus Halcyon, and we're going to start with Caden. Caden, oh, a slippery one here. Good luck pinning them down as they scoop up the double, Zach.
Well, while they're a niche pick, the Dually Squelchers have great range, great maneuverability, and that's exhibited here as they get the first and then dodge around Jared, giving them the second. That's only going to fuel Milky Way's fire, though, as Q is going to advance forward, get the pick onto Kaisa. No passive play seen there as they grab two and help Milky Way advance.
And then how about Q and Jared teaming up, combining their powers to get a wipe out and help advance the Rainmaker here for the win.
And this is what you need from your backline weapon player, is being calm and cool under pressure. They're essentially trapped in a corner, but use the ink vac, get the pick, plant that Rainmaker on the first checkpoint, and then Ice takes over the mantle, throws down that Booyah Bomb. Jared gets stuck, but that's still a massive lead.
Grab the brooms. Milky Way sweeps Halcyon 3-0. That means we're all set for losers finals. Moonlight versus Milky Way, and how about Basil picking up not one, but 2 runaway Rainmakers?
Yeah, all alone, nobody is to support them, finds some off angles and gets Bran and then Jared both trying to escort the Rainmaker for Milky Way. Moonlight taking the advantage here. They're going to send Omega up to that high ground. Shadow using the protection of the big bubbler to get Jared, and then Squid rolls their way to a lead of 22.
And listen up, here in Game 5, Ice, you gotta chill out with all of these splats and taking this entire game over.
This is as close to a quad as you're going to see. Gets one with the Booyah Bomb, jumps onto the grates to find Omega, and then gets the assist, but isn't contented. Will then find the pick onto Shadow.
Milky Way wins the Celestial matchup against Moonlight. Time to rise up for Grand Finals. FT Win versus Milky Way. We pick it up with yet another patented FT Win push as they trail.
And I love the way FT Win sets this up. So Biscuit's going to move forward, but not before Sam and Hexen go through the grate. And they're actively inking the floor to give Biscuit more room. So the attention is on the Rainmaker carrier. Sam and Hexen survive, and they're able to tag team the Rainmaker, and Sam extends the lead to 27.
Oh, but you better line up for Q because they go to work trying to do all that they can to try and mount a late comeback.
When Q has an Ultra Stamp in their hand, you know they're going to use it right away. Bam! That's over the tree for a pick, even an extra one onto Sam.
Impressive, but FT Win would get the win. Forces a game 5. Here's Jared rolling all over the place. You can't pin him down.
We're going to have to break this one down on Shiny Tips later, but that's 3 players, 3 power clams, 1, 2, 3, no points into a huge lead.
Milky Way resets at 3-2 over FT Win. We all love a Grand Finals reset. Milky Way versus FT Win. We begin with FT Win. You can expect some terrific teamwork as they try to dunk this thing home. They're going to get stopped just short, though.
Yeah, Sam, a clean bill of health and a clear path forward. Brand not going to have the same level of success. They will find Kyo, and it is a lengthy overtime, but FT Win finally able to break out of their spawn. They send 1 player each way, and it's too much for Brand to handle as they get collapsed on, and FT Win takes that one.
We then head to tower control, and how about Milky Way exerting some galactic pressure on FT Win?
This shows how bad Milky Way wants it. Great layering of specials, the Crab Tank into the Tacticooler, into the Booyah Bomb, and then crafty plays from Jared here. These grades can be tough, but if you can squid roll and roll with your dualies around for a flank, it shows how nicely that's able to work as Biscuit goes down, followed quickly by Hex and Jared cleaning up in the court area.
And Milky Way would roll to a Grand Finals reset 3-1 victory over FT Win. Well, that concludes another exciting week of the regular season, and as we take a look at the standings from all of the action that we saw, it's Milky Way picking up 100 big points, FT Win not too far behind, and we are seeing several familiar faces once again in that top 8. Bet, Duck Motif, Healthy Diet Food Groups as well too. And Zach, your thoughts, because we essentially just have 1 week of the regular season left, yet we continue to see some teams find some separation.
Well, we have this power trifecta of Milky Way, FT Win, and 5. 5 has now been replaced with Moonlight, but lots of teams nipping at their heels trying to cement themselves going into the playoffs.
Let's check out the overall standings throughout the season. FT Win in the lead over Fo. But as we said before, Milky Way, Moonlight, Duck Motif not too far behind as we look at how the positioning might shape up because the playoff picture is starting to become clearer and clearer. Keep an eye on some of those teams that still have to post that 5th score. We'll obviously dive into that in just a little bit. But let's check out the schedule for our final week of the regular season coming up here. It begins with the Splatoon 3 North American League, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time. The top 8 live streams start at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We are getting set for the final event. And then, if you want to have a little bit more fun on the weekend, you didn't get enough during the Splatoon 3 North American League, we've got the Splatoon 3 North American League Sunday Scrim. Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific, you can join in on a little salmon run. Whether you're solo or playing with a group of friends, you can have a little bit more of a casual approach to it. And then it all leads up to the Splatoon 3 North American League playoffs. That live stream is at 12 p.m. Pacific on both December 13th and 14th. You don't want to miss it. Coming up later, we're going to get behind the wheel and play a little Mario Kart World. But first, with the playoffs just around the corner, we've got a lot to break down. So let's bring in Nine and Milana and take a look at the playoff standings. You see our top 8 teams and a couple of teams just outside the top 8 knocking on the door with 1 week left in the regular season. I've got to ask you, and let's start with this here to the group. We've seen all these teams in action throughout the entire regular season. What team has impressed you the most? Not necessarily the best team, but what team has impressed you the most or maybe surprised you the most throughout all of this? And Nine, let's get started with you.
Well, kind of funny you asked here. We've been doing a little prep work, and we're going to be a little bit of an echo chamber here. It's Fo by, I would say, a clear margin in terms of what has impressed us the most. Coming into this, we knew it was a roster of strong players, of versatile players who could play a very aggressive style of Splatoon, but we had no idea it would be like this. There are not a lot of teams, Jordan, who have ever bracket reset and beat FT Win. Not only have they done that, they have incredible records against just about every other team. Every player has had the big highlight plays that we've seen week after week, and I just can't say enough good things about Fofofo and the way that they've moved through this league.
Well, guys, since 9 already answered for you, Milana, big money, I should say. What is it about Fofofo that you feel has made them the most surprising team this season?
I think just being able to see them perform so consistently week after week after week, every week that we've seen them on, we've just seen them be able to stand toe-to-toe with some of the top teams like Nine mentioned, like FT Win. So just being able to see them consistently perform at that level, I think is just so impressive.
And Zach, lastly, from your perspective, we've seen you do your shiny tips. You're really diving into the strategy of a lot of these teams here. What is it about maybe the makeup of Fofofo that has been so surprising that maybe has made them the team that nobody really expected to do this well this season?
Well, talk about the makeup of the team. They kind of have an unassuming or otherwise meta composition between a Snipe Rider, a Wiper or Stamper player, and then a Slosher, but they're rounded out by Dat Menace, who's running weapons like the Octobrush and the 52 Gal that really give them that offensive edge that they need. On top of that, that player is pushing forward and creating space. And yes, it's a role that might get splatted quite a bit, but it's giving their other three players the range and the wherewithal on the stage to maneuver around and use their weapons to their fullest advantage. So it's a team that I think all of us weren't super familiar with going into the league. It's a team that I think everyone knows now.
Now, looking at the teams that are outside of the top 8, with 1 week of the regular season remaining, Zach, who do you think has a chance to maybe leapfrog one of those teams already in the top 8 and take one of the last few spots going into the playoffs?
Halcyon, I think, has a very clear shot at being able to make it. They've played some of the top teams in this league incredibly well, had some very close sets. I think they have a roster of players that's pretty well accomplished, that knows the meta well, especially players like Storm and Caden, who we've seen on some interesting weapons that have worked out in their favor. Things like the Dually Squelchers have really come into effect for them, and they could take some teams off guard if they let their guard down, especially in this slightly different format that we're going to see in the playoffs.
And Milana, how about you? Who else do you think could possibly take one of the last few seats?
I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for TZS. I think TZS is just such a consistent team. And I mean consistency mostly in that I've seen these players around for years and years, and I just know how good they are at the game, and I've seen some really incredible plays coming out from their team for this league and even just beyond. So being able to place well might get them the chance to at one of those top 8 spots.
And then 9, there's certainly still maybe one team out there that has a legitimate chance of getting in, but will maybe need a big weekend here soon.
Yeah, that team would be Sunset. This team came together partway through this league as sort of a reformed Hypernova, so the talent's there. The question was, were they going to have enough time? Were they going to get enough chances to score well for themselves? And Jordan, there's been a couple times I think they maybe had an opportunity to make a top 8 that they didn't, but they still have a chance. They're going to need to place, I would say, in about the top 3, and they're going to need a little help from some of these other teams as well, but they are certainly capable of it. Incredible players all up and down that roster, again, formed partway through this event. The sun might not be rising or setting on them yet, but it is a long shot, but if they make it in, watch out for what they're capable of.
Well, listen, we've talked about teams that have been surprising, teams that have promise, teams outside the top 8 that might sneak in. When it's all said and done, the question comes down to who's going to win this? Who's going to be the top team when it's all said and done? And Zach, you look at everything and all the information, the data, the thoughts, the emotions that go into it. Who are you rolling with?
Well, I would love to go with 5 if that was an option. I think their roster looks so incredible on paper, but Milky Way is also an incredible choice, and that's who I'm going to be taking. I've heard through the grapevine that in preparation for regular season week 7, they didn't do a whole lot of practicing, a whole lot of scrimmaging until effectively the 11th hour, but they still got it done. They were still definitively the winners of that event, and I'm super impressed by what I've seen from them with very little preparation. And I think given the 2 weeks that they have to prepare for this different format but still very exciting playoff picture, I think they're going to pull through.
Milana, how about you? Who do you think wins all of this?
I'm just with Zach. I think Milky Way has a great shot to win. And I think the reason being is because Zach mentioned it earlier. We talk a lot about persistence, a lot about diligence, a lot about resilience when it comes to performing for competitive Splatoon 3. And I think that Milky Way brings that every single time. I had the privilege of commentating every time they had that grand finals bracket reset, and they would be winning 6 games in a row. And I'm just like, wow, that is so impressive to be able to perform that consistently and with that much time in the 9th hour of playing this game. I think they're the marathon runners. They're gonna take it.
All right, 9. Are we going to have a consensus? Will your guess to win this take your gaze up to the sky, to the galaxy we reside in? Or will you forge your own path as far as which team you feel will win this?
That's quite a fork that you've given me there, Jordan, but I will not go the path of Milky
come
Way
on.
here.
We almost had consensus.
How
here.
dare you all pick against FT Win of all teams? Shame on you, you've been around long enough to know how this story ends often enough. But jokes aside, you actually brought up something, Milana, right there that I want to talk about, because the resilience in the later hours of these events that Milky Way has shown is commendable in every sense. But I do want to point out that they're in losers and having to make those resets because FT Win has been sharper on the winner's side. And as Zach noted, this is going to be 2 shorter days. I truly believe that FT Win, when those days get a little bit longer, some of their players might not be used to or able to keep up for the 8 or so hours that you need to in order to beat a Milky Way. But in the shorter format here, 2 days, I really believe it plays to their strengths. And I'll also note, we're talking about prep. They're one of the teams that has done the most prep work in terms of preparing different compositions for different stages and different modes. More time will only help up with that. They'll have the full roster at their disposal. And I truly believe that with the slight changes to the format, FT Win should be favored. I will not be surprised if Milky Way gets the win here. These two teams have traded back and forth. But I am back in FT Win, and we'll see if I look silly after this is all said and done.
Well, thanks, guys, for asking me who I think should win as well, too. I'm going to go with Fo. All of you pointed them out as the most surprising team, and I think the surprises continue. I think the way that they play, the pace, they almost force you to play a different style to be able to compete with them and keep up with them. Plus, what we've seen from some of their individual players in one-on-one situations, their capability to hit home runs, essentially, during certain games, to me, I think this is what it's going to come down to. It's going to be very close. I think we're going to get a 3-2 or a bracket reset. And in those moments, when you have to make those championship-caliber plays, who's going to do that? I think we've seen that more consistently, especially as we look back at all the highlights from Fo. I think they keep getting better. I think they still have more room to grow as a team versus some more of these established teams as well, too. So we'll see. The fun will begin December 13th and 14th. It's 2 days of the playoffs. We can't wait to see who will be the winner when it's all said and done. Well, as you know, we all love to play Splatoon, and a lot of us here are Splatoon experts, but believe it or not, we actually do enjoy other games, and right now, we're going to take a chance to play some Mario Kart World with each other, and of course, Mario Kart World, the newest iteration in the Mario Kart series, exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2, and really what's special about Mario Kart World, and guys, you've seen this, is all of the interconnected courses. We're going to get a chance to not only race a course, but then take that path to the next course, all part of this large world that you can free roam in if you want to. But right now, let's just all gather on this secluded beach that you found here. We've got Cheep, Yoshi, Wario, and King Boo all set up.
Let's hit the pose.
All right, 9, you got the photo?
I got a couple here, so
okay,
I think we're good.
Perfect. What a dashing collection of people here. Now we're getting set for Knockout Tour, and this is a lot of fun because essentially you start with 24 racers, and then we're going to whittle it down by 4 racers every checkpoint, and you need to make sure that you're in that upper echelon. So you need to be in 20th, then 16th, 12th, 8th, and then finally down to 4. And it can get a little bit challenging. And the layout's a little bit different. Obviously, drivers that have a higher top-end speed might have a better chance in this one. I say that to give myself a built-in excuse with Cheep that's pretty slow right now. All right, so we're getting started here. Gang, you know what we need to do. We need to just immediately
Gang
knock
up
them out.
on 9.
Yeah. It's okay if I don't win, as long as I get all of the collectibles. That's where my head and my heart is. You know, guys.
Big money trying to fill the
That's
bag.
what I'm
I was gonna
saying.
say, yeah, when I think of you, Milana, I absolutely never think of competitive drive or anything like that.
Just make sure 9's not in the lead right now. That's the most
I'm
important
not.
thing.
I'm actually in danger of missing the cut here.
No
Good.
way.
Well, and I'm behind you, so
Our concentration is legit right
I was
now.
about to say, are we sure we didn't turn it up to hard? Because these guys are
A
smoking
little
me.
harder in knockout tour.
I don't think I blinked in like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, that was a lot of effort to get through the first.
I was gonna say,
point
Yeah.
right there.
wow,
That
that
was
was
Held my
really
breath
hard.
more than I should have
Got
there.
really quiet for a second there.
No.
Jordan, if I send a red shell out now, it's coming for you. Are you
Well,
sure
I
you're
know
okay with
that's
that?
the thing, but
yeah,
oh, I hit myself with my own green
maybe
shell.
that'll
Are you kidding
happen
me?
next instead. So
There you go. And there's a red shell behind me. This is where it just goes side.
there's the blue.
There's one. Yeah, let's see if it's enough though. Okay, a lot of heat right behind me. Okay. Got a chance. There we go,
that.
Zach.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Doing the work for the people.
Come on, give me something good.
Milana, you're up here in second place. I don't know if you know this.
No, it's just because Zach's in front of me.
I'm like drawing Milana in, dude. I don't know what I did to earn her ire, but
Need to move faster. Yes.
moving on
You
it.
can just mute
Whoa.
my mic. You can just mute my mic.
See, nothing makes Milana happier than ruining my life. Confirmed. We've got video footage of it.
All right. Oh, watch out for that. That is close. No, 9. Don't do that.
That's not me.
Don't do it. There we go.
I haven't hit any of you with anything this entire game.
Are there any
okay?
other
That's exactly
nines
what
I should
somebody
know
would
about?
say that is hit somebody with this during the entire game.
Oh, there's
boy.
9. 9,
boy.
go.
All
Oh, no.
right.
Oh, no.
Oh,
this is
God.
close.
No.
This is
Wait,
close.
that's
Oh, I'm in the
9.
sand. No.
I'm also in the sand.
Okay.
I'm in the sand trap.
I can't let 9 do this to me.
Some heavy breathing going
I
on.
have not hit any of you with anything. I have raced this in a good and honorable
Now,
fashion.
this is
with
the true
sick
Mario Kart
lines
experience.
And smooth turns and wonderful drifts.
Everyone has a banana. Why does everyone have a
Okay,
banana?
here we go.
Okay,
Come on.
please.
Oh,
All
come
right,
on,
I'm in
no.
fourth. All right.
Once again, I didn't hit you with that. You hit me.
No.
I'm just glad I wasn't knocked out early.
Dude, my adrenaline is
I
kicking
know.
me
It's
in the
getting
face.
so close
Oh,
right
that
now.
was scary.
Acorns!
Acorns.
Oh my god, that was heat seeking, I swear.
Oh, get off.
Oh!
Are you kidding me?
Yes,
No.
K2!
I fell off the edge. Are you serious?
Yes! All
You gotta
right.
be kidding me.
Not last. Not last. Not last. Not last.
Unreal. So disappointed in myself
the
right
ultimate
now.
fashion driving is when you have a
I
crown
was
on
sitting
your
there
head.
in second. Kudos to you, Milana. Well done in 9. You know, we had it going for you. And listen, very impressive, my friend.
See, let this teach you something, 9. Clean and wholesome driving gets you nowhere.
That's all right. I have a feeling I'll get my revenge one day.
Ruthlessly capitalistic from Big Money right there. Well, guys, it was a lot of fun playing some Mario Kart World, and I've got to say, it's pretty nice stepping out of the ink every once in a while to play something a little bit different, and I know we just had a great time with that.
What's up, guys? Shiny Enter Zach here, back with another edition of Shiny Tips following regular season week 7. I cannot believe we're almost done with the regular season, but we had some great matches, including lots of Game 5s, and Grand Finals was no exception between FT Win and a Milky Way team that was trying to force a bracket reset. We go to Clam Blitz on Museum d'Alfonsino for this one, and around halfway through the match, nothing had happened yet, but with almost 30 clams at their disposal, Milky Way was looking to be in a great position to. You can see Brand, Q, and Ice have almost formed an Orion's belt worth of power clams as Jared leads the charge on the crab tank here, pushing the members of FT Win back. Now, as Brand and the other members start to engage, you can see they will start to take some fights and then fall back or jump back to their team as Jared, who is not holding a power clam, will have to be the one to engage. There's not really great specials to get them in, so Jared is going to have to roll off this box here and take the high ground, forcing forcing Hexen back with a couple of quick shots, and then they'll use this way to communicate and signal their team to jump forward. That's something you can use in your solo queue games as well. That gets 3 power clams in the basket and gives them a huge lead. Now, as we watch this one again, you'll see Ice and Brand trade off who's engaging, and they're not prioritizing getting picks. They're okay with just forcing FT1 back a little bit while Jared gets in a position where they can set up. They scramble to get the tactical buff, and then Jared makes his move. Biscuit is going to have a line of sight on them, but all they need to do is get the power clam into the basket. So Jared signals this way, the 3 jump-ins happen all at once, and even with Biscuit getting the pick there onto Q and then Bran, they get a massive lead that will eventually result in them getting this game and forcing that bracket reset. That's going to do it for this edition of Shiny Tips.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule one more time as we get set to wrap up the regular season. It's the Splatoon 3 North American League, Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific with the Top 8 live stream beginning at 4 p.m. Pacific. You can register today at battlefy.com/NintendoVersus. But Zach, the fun doesn't stop there on the weekend.
The action does not stop there. Of course, we have our last Splatoon 3 North American League Sunday Scrim taking place on November 23rd. That one starting at noon Pacific time as well.
And it all leads up to the Splatoon 3 North American League playoffs, December 13th and 14th. We can't wait. And with that, we say thank you so much. It's been so much fun over the last couple of months to do the Splatoon 3 North American League show. We appreciate you, the fans, and the viewers for tuning in. You made it such a joy for us. And also a huge thanks to Zach, Nine, and Milana, and all the other community members that joined us each and every single week to have some fun over Splatoon 3. From all of us here, we'll see you in the playoffs.